ISO 13485-2016. In this short presentation, we will explain what ISO 13485 is, why it is important to the organization, why we need it, and how we use and maintain it. All ISO standards, such as ISO 9001, 14971 or 13485, have been published by the International Organization for Standardization, the recognized body for the production of quality standards. In summary, ISO 13485 specifies the standards and requirements for a quality management system that must be used by any organization that has anything to do with the design, development, manufacture, distribution, sales or servicing of a medical device at any point in its life cycle. By certifying an organization as conforming to the ISO 13485 standard, an accredited third-party body of auditors attests to the organization's conformance to the quality management requirements of the standard, including being compliant with applicable regulatory requirements which must be identified within the Quality Management System, or QMS. If you are in any way familiar with ISO 9001, you will see that there is a lot of overlap across these two standards. The colon 2016 refers to the year that the revised standard is published. In ISO standards, the various numbered sections are referred to as clauses. After some introduction and definitions, the actual requirements of the ISO 13485-2016 standard are contained in clauses 4 to 8. Clause 4 is an introductory section describing some of the general requirements, starting with the need to have an effective quality management system, or QMS, that meets the regulatory requirements for the class of the medical device itself, for the territories in which it is sold, and the requirements of the ISO 13485 standard. You must identify the processes that make up the QMS and show how they are interconnected and controlled using a risk-based approach. You have to document your QMS and references to it in a quality manual, and each medical device type or family must be documented in a separate medical device file. You have to keep records where appropriate, and all relevant documentation and records must be controlled according to a documented procedure. The first requirement in Clause 5 is for top management to show its commitment to establishing and maintaining an effective quality management system. This means establishing a quality policy and setting quality objectives for the whole organization. Top management have to define and document responsibilities and authorities for effectively operating the organization in conformity with the QMS, including the appointment of a management representative who, among other things, shall report on the effectiveness of the QMS at management reviews conducted at planned intervals. Clause 6 sets out the requirement to provide the resource that is necessary for an effective QMS. You have to identify the people in the jobs affecting product quality and ensure that these people are competent. You have to provide the infrastructure and the work environment needed to ensure medical device safety and performance, such as health, cleanliness, and clothing requirements. Where these could affect product quality, you have to establish arrangements to prevent contamination. Clause 7 contains a very large set of requirements, covering the whole of operations, starting with having to plan and develop the processes needed for product realization. You have to set product quality objectives, identify product realization requirements, and establish arrangements for communicating with customers and medical device regulators. You also have to establish design and development procedures and organize design and development activities. Effective verification and validation is a very important requirement at this stage prior to design transfer to manufacturing. Then you have to document procedures to control purchasing, such as to control the selection of suppliers, to monitor supplier performance, to plan product purchases, and to verify that purchased products conform to specifications. Clause 7 also requires that you plan, monitor, and control production and service provision. Define requirements for contamination control if that is applicable in manufacturing and storage, and document product installation and verification requirements. Finally, you have to develop servicing procedures with reference materials, validate processes used for production and service provision where inspection is not feasible, and facilitate product identification and traceability, which may be vital in a recall. And so finally, in Clause 8, Measurement, Analysis and Improvement, you have to plan how your organization will monitor, measure and analyze processes to ensure product and QMS conformity and QMS effectiveness. You have to establish methods to obtain and monitor customer feedback and processes to investigate complaints, review risk, take action and report results, including to regulatory authorities where appropriate. The organization has to plan and conduct internal audits to determine whether the QMS is in conformity and processes are achieving planned results. You have to monitor and measure product during the manufacturing process to identify non-conforming product and take appropriate action to isolate such product and prevent unintended delivery or use. Finally, you are required to analyze data about your organization's QMS in order to evaluate its suitability and effectiveness and improve where indicated. Where appropriate, you need to take corrective and preventative action in order to maintain QMS suitability, adequacy and effectiveness and ensure medical device safety and performance. Ioto Group Limited and its subsidiaries Ioto Limited and Ioto Inc. are ISO 13485-2016 certified medical device companies. This means that we have created a quality manual with processes, work instructions and forms that all colleagues need to be aware of and follow. All our processes and work instructions can be found on our Confluence site. These work instructions set out how to carry out tasks that may be related to aspects of your job role. You should make yourself familiar with any work instructions that are related to your department. Each year we carry out internal audits to test and review the quality management system, and annually we have external surveillance audits to monitor conformity. Every third year we have to reapply for our certification. Our certification allows us to manage the design, development, manufacture, distribution, sales and servicing of our products. Information and training on the most important aspects of the quality management system are found on your Safety Hub portal. If you want to understand more about ISO 13485, please contact the operations team. Thank you for taking the time to listen.